Hey folks, once again, this is Chi Baker from Street Tactical Integrations here in Portland, Oregon. And I wanted to address the gun debate before a lot of people launched into asking me questions or stating their comments surrounding the gun debate, which is whether people should own or not own guns. And I don't want to get into that debate. I think this particular workshop on gun safety, i.e., demystifying guns, is really about gun safety. Gun safety, gun safety. It's not whether people should or should not own guns. The fact of the matter, whether you choose to like it or not, is that guns exist and guns are prevalent in our society today. In fact, guns are getting taken to schools, they're taken to workplaces, they're taken to public areas, they're taken to private areas. Gun violence is on the rise, and I think it's best for people to understand guns and know how to be safe or safer around guns and know what to do in case they encounter a gun. And mostly this is about encountering guns in a non-assaultive situation, so not around a gun threat, but simply a gun has been found, particularly with children. It may be that they know their parents have guns and their guns has not been safely secured, and now the gun is out in the public. I will be addressing gun safety and securing your guns to minimize things like your child or other children finding a gun in a household, which I do think is very important. But I don't want to, I'm not pro-gun, I'm not anti-gun, I'm pro-gun safety. And I do want to emphasize that it most likely is not if, it's when a person and a child is going to encounter a gun and what they need to know in order to keep themselves safe and hopefully others involved safe. So the more they understand gun safety protocol, the safer they're going to be. And that's really what this workshop is about. It's something that I actually encourage adults to take, also children to take. It's going to be available in person on Zoom and also will be recorded for further purchase for people at a later date. All my children will be privy to this knowledge so that they know how to be safe around guns. I have 5 children. They need to know what to do if they encounter a gun, particularly outside my household, and what they need to do to keep themselves safe first, and also how to keep everyone else safe secondarily. So the class is about understanding the mechanics of guns, understanding gun safety protocol, and we're going to be addressing mostly handguns versus rifles. And to not go too far down a rabbit hole, this is about handguns. I know rifles have a huge controversial piece, particularly because of the mass shootings, and don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. Basically, we're going to be talking about gun safety, which applies to all guns, whether it's a handgun, a rifle, a shotgun, or any sort of other gun that people may witness. So it's about, again, understanding the mechanics around guns, understanding gun safety protocol, and how to keep you and others safe. So hopefully that is helpful to folks in terms of the information that's going to be provided, as well as my stance around guns. I am not certainly at all advocating people to own guns. I think owning guns is a personal choice for each individual. And if you're in a couples or family environment, that it is a discussion amongst those adults in terms of, is this appropriate for that family? And how can you make it safe if a family decides to own a gun and possess it in the household, how to keep it safe so that no harm is done or possible with that gun. Guns are owned for many reasons, which is a huge part of this understanding. People own guns for their job, so policemen, security people, farmers, all sorts of jobs require people to own guns. People own guns for recreation, whether it's target shooting, it could be a paper target, it could be skeet or clay shooting targets using with shotguns. So people own guns for recreational target shooting. People own guns for competition. So people may want to compete in their ability to skillfully shoot guns at targets. People may own guns for home defense. So making sure that they have a device that they know how to use and believe in and can trust to manage any sort of home invasion. People will also own guns for self-protection outside the house. So when they're out and about and there is an imminent threat and they feel like in order to save their lives or somebody else's lives, they may use that firearm to save themselves or others from imminent harm. So guns are owned for multiple reasons. So the other piece I didn't is some people own guns as collector items. So they have potentially a value, a monetary value, or an artistic value for some people. So again, firearms are owned for many reasons. They are prevalent in our society. I think an argument we can't have is that they are in existence. Guns exist now, they're in our society. So since they exist and they're in our society, it's best to know more about them and it's best to know how to be safe around them. So that's what this course is about. Gun Safety 101, demystifying guns to help people better understand guns. I think the more people understand guns, the less fear they have, which is something that I have in the information below. It's also something as a personal story, and you don't need to hear this, you can press stop if you need to, but the household I grew up in, we did not own guns. So for whatever reason, my dad, my mom did not own a gun. I learned how to shoot a gun and about gun safety from a very, very early age. It might have been as early as 7 years old. And it was rifle shooting, it was shooting .22s. And I learned early on how to be safe around guns, how to respect guns. And I think that has been very helpful in terms of being around guns. Guns are not something to screw around with. They're not a toy. You should understand a lot of aspects around how guns work and how to be safe around guns. And so I learned at a very early age how to be safe around guns, and that has kept me safe when guns have been around, whether they were a impromptu, potentially surprise, or something where it was an organization. When I am out on the range, I very much will help inform others about gun safety and ensure that they follow gun safety protocol. So it's something that keeps me safe, it keeps others safe, and it is a skill that I think is a life skill that is valuable for all people to know about and to have available so that when they encounter guns, they can act safer and understand them and keep themselves and others safe. So hopefully that minimizes the debate of owning guns or not owning guns, my stance on owning guns, not owning guns. Again, I don't think that people should own guns if they don't want to. I think people who do own guns should own guns and practice the utmost safest protocol possible to ensure the safety of themselves and the public. And that's very much the value system, morals, and teachings that I offer, and that you will be privy to as you attend any of my classes that discuss or train about the utilization of guns. All right, guys, be well, stay safe. Again, subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified as soon as videos pop up. And again, practice tribe safety, tribe vibe, because we want to keep our communities as safe as possible. All right, guys, be well.